Hello and welcome back to the Common Colt Podcast, a Colts podcast with real takes and no clickbait. I'm Josh Hudgens, joined by Dan Hertzler. Dan, what's up?
Not too bad, not too bad. Colts made some moves today, or not a move in the fact that they did not re-sign Paris Campbell. He went to a 1-year deal to the Giants. wasn't really much of a contract, and so pretty much the Colts said, we don't want you back. Josh, what are you thinking about that?
Yeah, I actually don't like it. And I don't think Paris Campbell is a great player. He's obviously had injury history, but looking at Ashton Doolin, who was making around $1.5 million, and then knowing what the Colts have at receiver, which is not a whole lot, I think that it would have made sense to spend a little bit more, but that's why Ballard has Bargain Bin Ballard as his nickname, because moves like that. So, and we're going to grade the Colts offseason and kind of look at what they've done and what they maybe need to do next here. But I don't know, how are you feeling about that Campbell move?
Well, like you said, yeah, we'll give a grade out here in a second, and we want you in the comments to post your grade as well, too. It's interesting in the fact that I don't know what the plan is, and I'll talk about this in my grading here in a second. You're really kind of leaving yourself kind of left with, okay, we've got Pittman, and then what else? We got some younger guys, and that's about it. I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, I know you're high Pierce on a few of the plays, but Pierce to me is kind of like, what do we know yet? So I think they really got to get a wide receiver, and the crop is getting thin again. Are they not? They're not in the Odell sweepstakes. They're not going to go after Hopkins out of Arizona. I mean, maybe McCall Hartman, the fast, speedy receiver that didn't do much for the Chiefs. Maybe they go after him. I don't know, but it's making me really get nervous. But they also did another move, picked up a quarterback, the one that we actually been kind of harping on here.
Yeah.
We thought that they would get. That was kind of the last one there. Made most sense. So Gardner Minshew, quarterback of the Eagles, with Shane Steichen's system. So what do you think about that move, Josh?
Well, I don't have a strong opinion on Gardner other than the fact that the NFL is such a relationships business, and it happens with every team, with every coach. Think about Frank Reich with Carson Wentz, Frank Reich with Phillip Rivers, and it just, is Gardner Minshew a top-tier quarterback? No, he's not. But what he's going to do is, if the Colts draft a rookie quarterback, he already kind of knows what Shane likes to do. He knows the plays. Probably most of the plays are going to transfer over, and he's going to be able to help a rookie quarterback acclimate easier because he's already been in the system. So I think that move is smart, and we're probably going to see Nick Foles get cut within the next few days, if not tomorrow, type of deal.
Yeah, I think it was just a kind of a no-brainer. I mean, if you and I are calling it, we would hope that the higher ups are calling it. So, anyways, Josh, what's your big grade for the Colts offseason so far with kind of these two moves today? What are you going to give them?
Well, I'm looking at this offseason, and I'm thinking, all right, the Matt Ryan move, obvious. There's a few obvious ones. There's the Matt Gay move, which caught me off guard completely, signing that kicker. And I thought that signing, it got a little bit of hate, but I actually liked it because Matt Gay is a top-tier kicker in the NFL.
Yep.
And Chase McLaughlin, while had a decent season with the Colts last year, his history says that he's not a reliable kicker. And there's a reason why they were able to pick him up in the middle of the season. So for me, I like that move. The Gilmore move, I kind of liked, but it opened him up at cornerback. And I do want to talk about that a little bit later on what's next. But overall, I'm giving them a C. I'm giving them a C, all things considered. We haven't addressed the receiver position yet. We actually let it get worse. The quarterback position is still a big question mark. We didn't make a trade, and we kind of wanted to see them make a trade. Obviously, Gilmore went for a fifth. There was nothing that I seen that was like, okay, this is just amazing, but in the same regard, I can't give them an F either because it's not like they got fleeced on a trade or something either. So I don't know. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm not nearly feeling as optimistic as you are there because I'm still counting the fact that they didn't get 1-1. That's part of this offseason. They're stuck here at 1-4 and they didn't get the top two quarterbacks. So I'm going to give them a D+. I do like, the Samson Ubukum. Okay, we'll work on that name. I do like that move. I do like the kicker signing. I like the Gilmore trade. I think that's good. Go get an extra younger player. He wasn't going to do much. but they've really left themselves exposed right now. One, they didn't get that top quarterback. Two, I don't know if this receiving core is the worst in the NFL, but it's probably in the bottom 5.
It's bad.
And that's not a good sign for a passing league. Number 3, you just mentioned it. They left themselves short on cornerback. They only have, 1, 2, and 3. It's not like they have extra picks in the first 3 rounds of this draft. So are they going to go straight quarterback, wide receiver, cornerback? I think they really need to go out and get a veteran veteran wide receiver or veteran cornerback so that they aren't handcuffed. And sitting here right now, outside of a few kind of nice trades for depth and a kicker, it's been a pretty rough offseason. I was expecting more from the Colts.
Yeah, when you enter the draft and you have a lot of needs, at key positions, keep in mind, pass rusher is still a big need too. I know we signed Abukum, but he's a rotational pass rusher. This guy is not a every down, put your hands in the dirt pass rusher. Yeah. That's a need as far as I'm concerned as well. Obviously, the draft with cornerbacks is deep, and there are a lot of talented corners. So it makes me feel like trading Gilmore makes me feel like they might take somebody in the second round, possibly. I'm just speculating. I think that's maybe what next for the Colts is, maybe a quarterback round 1 and a cornerback round 2. I was really hoping they would get a receiver early, but with how this free agency has shaken up in trades, that cornerback position is really become a big need. Kenny Moore's a slot cornerback who had a down year last year. Isaiah Rodgers, for whatever reason, was in the coach's doghouse and didn't get as much snaps last year outside or just in general. So he's automatically our cornerback number 1, and we don't have a guy outside of him. So that just I'm not feeling good about some of this. I'm moving my grade down to a C- the more I talk. so
the more I'll get you into this, because here's the other concern, and we've talked about this. What do you do with a rookie quarterback? You want to give them weapons. Colts haven't done that. Colts have not done that, and you're already talking about using a second for a cornerback. That means we're pushing the wide receiver into the 3rd round. Maybe they can hit on that, that we've seen that, but that's not really a weapon. And the receiving core, I'm trying to go through it in my head right now. I really think it's bottom 5. I don't think there's that many worse receiving cores in the NFL. So what are we doing? We've got to start doing something. We've got to make a move. We're not getting some of those high-end receivers. And again, I wouldn't want to spend that kind of money for them. But we got to get some people in here. Yeah. We got to get some bodies in here. And it's not looking good right now for the Colts.
Yeah, and that's why I think the Paris Campbell move is frustrating, because it's like, okay, we haven't brought anybody in yet. Unless if they sign a Mecole Hardman, maybe they go after an aging vet like Adam Thielen. Like you said, Odell he's not coming to the Colts. He's just not. No. We're not spending the cap on him. He doesn't. I don't think he'd want to come to the Colts. We'll see, guys. I'm curious what you guys think. If you could take a moment and comment what your grade is and why. We're thinking C-, D+, right around there. Yeah. But hey, it's a progress report. It's not a report card. We're about halfway through this offseason. The draft's still coming up. We still got a lot of moves that can happen. So Colts can either get their grades up, maybe teacher smacks their wrist and they could get these grades up, or hey, you could flunk class, you could flunk out. So only time will tell. So, guys, we appreciate you watching our show. Make sure to comment your thoughts and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching the Common Cold Podcast.